Keisha. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are first. So exciting. Alright. How are you doing? Tell me how you've been. As I pop in with Foamy for a little bit. Hi, hi, hi. My name is Kevin. I'm KGart82. I am a toy sculptor, 3D artist. I've been doing this for 20 years, and now I stream and do it for fun. So thanks for being here. You're stuffed? What did you have? Tell me, was it good foods? Ads are going to start in 5 minutes, by the way. Tell me what you ate, and then I'll run the ads real quick, so that way we can get them out the way. Yeah, tonight's going to be interesting. I'm going to be doing some 3D print prep, and that should be exciting and fun. Very different. It's a different pace. It's creative in a different way, so that'll be nice. Let's jump over to the scene. I'll bring in the project that I was working on. I don't know if you were here last stream. Sausage bolognese with Parmesan cheese. Ooh, that sounds really good. I have not had dinner yet myself. I had a late lunch. So I don't exactly know what I'm gonna do for dinner. Mm-mm-mm. Now you got me wanting Italian food, but I don't know when I'm gonna get to that. All right. Yep. Here's our gal. So the goal tonight is to start. Let's see. That's why I'm so stuck. Oh no, yeah, I got the point. Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah, that sounds like a nice, hearty, healthy meal. And I'm glad it was probably so delicious. Yeah, we're gonna break her down into parts so that way she can go on my printer and then be keyed together. So the first big thing I'm gonna do is just decide what the different pieces are gonna be. Thank you for being in here, by the way. I appreciate you so much. This is gonna be an interesting one. I have a feeling it's not gonna be a big draw of people just because it's not like a more common topic, but I think it'll be fun for anybody that does swing by. So thanks for coming in. Thanks for lurking. If anybody is lurking, if you're planning on lurking, I don't know what you're up to, and ask questions too, because it'll be this one is going to be full of lots of different questions because there's going to be a lot of pieces that are going to be combined into one piece, and then those pieces are going to have to key together like a puzzle. So I'm basically putting together a puzzle for myself that I'm then going to put in a software that will prepare it to go onto the printer, and then the printer will do its thing and print the stuff. So I think what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna start by turning off all the color and go into this gray material, which is usually what I sculpt in when I'm sculpting. I don't like to sculpt in color just because you can't see the detail as much. Kind of hides it depending on uh, the color view. And I also don't usually sculpt in perspective. That was just kind of on, just because it's a nice view. It kind of gets the 3D point across for folks. When it's in perspective, they can see all of that stuff going on. But yeah, I'm going to start with, I believe, I want to start with the base first. And this is going to be in 3 parts. Hey, what's up? Hi, Six. See, I'm out, so I'm just stopping in to say hi. Love you too. Hearts to Six. Hope you're having a good time. That's right, you said you were going to a beach party today? Azzy! Hello, hello, hello. Okay, ads start very soon. So everybody who is not subbed, which I don't think you guys are subbed, which is fine. But I'm just letting you know, hang tight through the ads, because they're gonna start right now. And I'll hold off on what I'm gonna do next. But thank you all for being in here. I appreciate you. Even if you're just stopping by to say hi, I hope you all have had a wonderful day. And now the ad should be going. Yes, no, yes, no. I always think it's funny. It says, the ads are about to start. They're starting now. And then on my end, there's like this big pause between. What's interesting, is it the ad that you're watching? If it is, then you probably can't hear me asking that question. Oh, you see me. Hi. Did you did you not notice before? Yep, this is me. Mm. All right, 2.5 minutes in. So in the meantime, I'm not going to do anything crazy. Let's see. No, I did, but like no ad. Let's see. There goes ad. Oh, yep. Ads are kind of funny. Yay! Thank you for the follow, Azzy. And I'll type it since the ads are going. How was I not following? Well, I appreciate you, and you can't see this right now, but that'll be for the VOD. Man, I feel like the ads are going slow tonight. So I'm so itching to get back to everybody. That's probably what it is. But we got Josh Brown in the house. I see you're here. I know you're not seeing ads. Hooray! Welcome in, welcome in. Josh, if you can hear me right now, I am going to bug you a little bit more about resin soon. I did get a dummy file of a similar file that my buddy wants me to print, the one that I told you about. Yay! And I'm guessing that means you're through the ads then. Yeah, here it's funny because like sometimes the ads are 3 minutes, sometimes they're not. So if you're through, thank you. Um, yes, Josh, I'm gonna bug you about resin because I'm gonna need probably some settings and also be reminded what ones we were talking about, so that way I can put them into the printer and properly cost things out. You had no ads. Oh, you had no ads at all. Maybe because of when you came in. Because technically, ads are done right now. But that's great if you didn't have any. That's also weird. I hope you don't get like random ones soon, but maybe you just dodged them. So there's not going to be ads for another hour. Woo! Raid! Welcome, Raiders. Hey, Nebby. Nebutron. Oh yay, and Keisha's back. Finally. Woo! Wedge raid. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate you. I love that you now jam like right before I start stream because it gives me something fun to listen to and I could chat with you before. So that's cool. All right. So I think we're good with all the welcomes. I think. I hope you're all doing well. You guys, as I start, let me know what you guys did today. I'd love to hear what you're doing, what you were up to today. Um, I went grocery shopping and I actually played a video game, which I haven't done in like months, at least not in a meaningful way. I'll talk a little bit about that later, but I want to kind of get started on this. So you guys tell me what you did today so I can read as I start. Let's see. I'm loving the schedule so far. Yeah, I love it. I love it, man. It's really fun. And one of these days we'll do another collab stream, which I'm excited about. All right. So like I said, the base, I'm going to make this into three parts. We're going to have the grass. These are going to be two separate pieces, whole chunks, and then the rest of the base is going to be one piece. And the grass chunks are going to key into this, as well as our little lass in the center. She's going to key into the center of it. So we'll start simple so you can kind of see this process. Let's see. Nebi, the wife and I got to sit together and game our games for the first Saturday in forever, only for like 2 hours. You know, that's still great. That's so cool. Um, Today I was mostly alone because the wife and kid were out. They got their hair done today, which was fun. The kiddo got his bright neon green that he loves, and the wife got a nice, cute short bob and kind of like a dusty blonde, which looks awesome. And I went out grocery shopping and had lunch and watched people stream for most of the day. And then I did some gaming myself, playing Jedi Survivor, which I've been wanting to play for so long. But first thing I want to do is I want to turn this into one piece. So right now you can see we have the top of the base, we have the flowers, and we have this bottom part, which is kind of like the dirt. Let's see, dusty blonde is a nice choice. Yes, and it's pretty interesting because it's the first like more natural color that I've had in a while. She's been doing purples and teals and uh, kind of combos with pink, which I love. It always looks so great. Some blues, but she's just decided to go a little bit more natural this time, which I think is going to be kind of fun for her and getting it short for the summer, you know, when it's getting hot. Not that it hasn't been hot during the freaking winter. Crazy times, you know? All right, so let's turn all of this into one piece. So like I said, this is all separate pieces right now. And we go down in the subtool menu here on the right. Here, I'll do the magnifier. And down here, there's a section called Boolean. Spooky. And we make Boolean mesh. And we click on that just in case, because what that is, if there's anything that has like a preview smoothing on it, and if I like the way it looks, it'll keep that information instead of me having to subdivide it, make it smooth. Whoa! Wedge with the 10 stream streak. We're about the same with each other right now. That's cool because I think either did I did 10 for you today? That's awesome, dude. I love that for us. All right, so I'm going to click the make Boolean mesh, and it's going to create an entirely new object, which is a whole lot of fun. So now if we go over here to the upper right, you can see this is my file that has everything in it. And then right next to it is the new piece that has been created. And so if I click on that, now everything, you'll notice it's all that same gray color. And what happens is if I flip and we look at the inside, we'll see it's all one solid object now. Instead of multiple pieces, you can see the transition where one piece has now combined with the other. And it's always good to like look on the inside just to make sure there's not any weird geometry or anomalies, because that can happen. But yay! And another thing that we do when we combine pieces, it usually makes the resolution really high, and we don't need it to be that high and we actually we need it to not be super high when we're printing because the printer will chug and it'll have a hard time reading the data. So there's something that we do here. I'll show the mesh. See how there's lots of points, all these little squares and all the different points. And we're going to do something called decimating. And right now this is at about 1.5 million points, and we're going to bring it down to about 250,000 points. And so I start that operation, and it is going to not look any different on the surface. And it is amazing, because no detail will be lost, at least not in a meaningful way. Because now it's happened. You can see. Looks the same. But if we look at the wireframe now, whoa, look at all that. Looks way different. Because it got rid of any really unnecessary detail, and it keeps points dense where it is more important to keep those details. So if we turn the frame off again, you really cannot see the difference. So this is kind of our way of having really high detailed objects be able to go onto printers that can't have a lot of information or it'll bog it down. So it's really cool. Let's see, let me catch up a little bit. Let's see. I love that emote, Debbie, with the cats. Let's see, just got my foods. Yay, what are you having? Let's see, turkey burgers. Ooh, so hype. Yeah, that sounds good. I had a ham sandwich today for lunch. Let's see, not super not super high. And yes, right, Jeff or Josh. Destroy. Yes, we are destroying the models kind of in a way because it can't be really worked on in a meaningful way. There's ways to go back in and work if I really needed to, but this is kind of awesome. Right. So we got the main base done. Now we're going to work on these. And what I do want to do, I think this is in, yeah, so this is what the lower end of the wireframe looks like. And I want the preview to be smoother even than this. So if I go into my geometry tab and go to dynamic subdivisions, again, I'll turn my magnifier on. Right now it has a smoothing level of 2, and I'm just going to tick it up one by one until I'm kind of happy with it. That is actually probably good enough. I'll do it one more. And then I'm also going to, because this is already one object, but what I want to do is make these into separate pieces. Split hidden. And then I'm going to use them together to boolean into each other. Because, and actually, at the bottom here, I'm going to inflate just a little bit more. Because right now, these are just a bunch of individual blades of grass, cartoony blades of grass. And once they go through this process, just like the base, they are going to be hollow on the inside. So we inflate just a little bit on the bottom. And I'll do a flip of this just so you can see. See how it's all like individual parts, all crammed together. See, I'll do the same on this side. Inflate, make sure there's no like weird holes that run all the way through, because that can cause some problems. Luckily, I'm not like manufacturing this, so I don't have to worry about what's called undercut issues. That will be an issue for the molding if this was to be mold and cast into resin. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the base. I'm going to go to the geometry tab. Oh, no, sorry. Still in the subtool tab here is where the Boolean option is. And I turn on DS div. So this is the dynamic subdivision is going to be brought all the way through. And again, I hit make Boolean mesh. And again, thank you all for being here. This is going to be a very different stream than usual since it's not the usual sculpting that happens. This is more of an engineering day. We'll see how this does. All right, let's flip and see if it did. Yay! So now you can see the inside is all hollowed out and they're all together. It's going to be cast in resin. No, it's going to be printed in resin. But if it was to be manufactured, often the stuff gets molded and cast and it needs to be considered. Because it's going to go into manufacturing and go into like metal tooling, which is even less forgiving than our silicone molds that we use. But since this is just going to be 3D printed, I don't have to worry about a lot of those things, which is very nice because I have to worry about that all the time. So there's a lot of stuff like that I wouldn't be able to do that I'm doing here if I was going to make this an actual product that would be on store shelves for people to buy. But yeah, so no, I will not be molding or casting anything. I'm going to be prepping for print and then cleaning up the prints with some light sanding, hopefully minimal sanding. And then some people are going to get this file, and some people that don't have access to 3D printers, I'm going to be, yeah, printing myself and sending out to people. All right, so now we're going to bring the grass over with this. So this is what I just made. We have our two different grass pieces that are hollow inside, right? Yeah. And I might do some stuff because there's some of these parts that go deep inside. There's some things to clean up, but I'm not going to worry about that just yet. There's always more sanding. Minimal sanding, famous last words. Well, yeah. I mean, luckily for me, a lot of the stuff that I have printed, I have not had to do much sanding at all, but mostly it's because it's small pieces and a lot of the areas where like stilts sit, there are no areas where that basically the detail covers up where they were and then paint covers that up. So yeah. All right. So I'm going to split these two bits of grass. Well, first I'm going to split both of them by splitting any masked parts. No, okay, cool. There's no like hidden floater details in the middle. I masked both of them off. Let's try this again. See, split, unmask. Oh yes, there are, okay. So I masked both of them off and then I did split unmask and it basically removed any little floating bits that were unattached. I can just delete that. Because we don't want any little bits of floating geometry in there because that could mess with the file. And then I'm going to now split to similar parts. Usually I do split to parts, but depending on what I'm doing, sometimes I'll do that. Yeah, so now we have 3 pieces here for the base. And what I really want to do is flatten off the bottoms of these grass bits. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a dummy version of this base here. I'm going to duplicate it. I duplicated the wrong thing. Oop. I'm going to duplicate the base, and I'm going to bring it underneath the 2 grass chunks, and then I'm going to make it a negative. And if I hide the main base, we'll see now we have a flat bottom here for the grass. And you can see there's like these little pockets here that go under. Normally, what I would do, I don't really have to do this again because this is just mainly for 3D printing, but I can basically inflate these little bits here and it will flatten leaving no little weird pockets. So again, what is happening there? Pockets bad, that's right. Hello, what are you making? Hi, Nix. I am, here, I'll show you the whole model. So what I have made is, I'll bring her in. If you've heard of the game Pokopia, I made a little character of uh, a streamer that I mod for and am homies with. Her name is NerfNoodle, which I'll give her a little shout out right now. I'm going to shout a lot of you out in just a sec because I haven't yet. I've been thinking too much. Let's see. Boop. Out. Out. Shout her out because I am using her likeness. But she's an awesome streamer. She's a variety streamer, does just chatting and games and stuff like that. And she was playing Pokopia a lot. And she did a fun set on Instagram around that same time that was in this cute maid outfit. So I just made a version of her as one of the Pokopia Dittos in that outfit because I thought it was super cute. So I took that outfit, stylized it in the kind of Pokopia style, and then styled her hair that she did for that look and turned it into this little lass. And here I'll pop the color on too, just for now. But yeah, so right now what I'm doing is I'm prepping this for 3D print. So that's what we're doing tonight. So all the sculpting is done. She's posed. She's going to become a real thing as soon as I can get through it. So tonight we are focusing on getting her into all the different parts. And so far I've been going through the base. So now that the base is kind of there, here, we'll go here again. So I've flattened the grass and I'm going to do the Boolean action again. So we can get flat versions of the grass. And then I'm going to delete all these things. Delete, delete. And then we're going to add the new bits of grass. So now we basically have these three parts in their pre-keying stage. That's what I'm going to do next, is make sure these things can fit together. Let's see, this is a great, let's see, this is great and all, but dittos are the stuff of nightmares. I mean, yeah, I can see why you feel that way. Um, yeah. So anyway, first time chatter, Nix. Thank you for coming in, Nix. The forgotten oxalotl. Oh, I love that name. That's really awesome. Welcome in. Welcome to our space, our creative space. I am a 3D artist. I've been working in the toy and gift industry for about 20 years. I work primarily in ZBrush, and I started streaming about 6 months ago. And I'm doing this for me to kind of foster an art community and to create art that I want to create because I'm usually making stuff for clients, which not a bad thing. Love it. Love getting paid, but I also want to do some personal art. And I thought if I can help teach people at the same time and encourage people to do their own art, then that would be a good thing. So that's kind of why we're here. And I am always excited for new folks to pop in. So welcome. Glad to have you. Do you do any art yourself, Nix? You prefer to be called Nix? Tell us a little about yourself. Sorry, putting you on the spot. So now we have these in here. I'm going to go back to our main model and we're going to start figuring out how I want to break her up and start organizing here. And the way I'm thinking is I think I want to have the torso all be one bit, the arms with the sleeves, or maybe without the sleeves. Maybe we'll keep the sleeves with the torso. So we'll have legs and shoes, torso, so the skirt and the sleeves. We'll do the arms as separate bits. And then the head, I'm thinking, is going to be in three parts. We'll have this big ponytail, will be one bit that keys in, and the bangs and the little side ringlets will be a separate piece that will key into the front of the forehead. And the reason why I want to do that is I kind of want to, one, make it easier to paint because I know some folks are going to paint these. I might even paint one myself. I'm not really a painter, but I'm going to try. And I think this will be a good start testing paint piece for me. And I want to try to make it easy to hollow out the head and have it be as light as possible because that's a big chunk on top of a narrow little body. And I got to figure out how to make it work with physics. All right, so we've shouted out Noodle. Let's see. You at least have access to some of the best printers in the game, too. Iceberg. I mean, no, I don't. Um, I have my own little printer, and that's about it. I have done a few things for me on some of the printers uh, throughout the years before I had. Oh, some of the best painters. Sorry. Thank you for clarifying, or thank you for fixing my misread. I do some really awesome painters, but I also can't always afford them. I know one who would just say, yes, I'll paint everything you want for free, but I don't like doing that because I like to pay people for their work and uh, I need to afford it before I can do it sometimes. So I'll need to save some money. But yes, no, I I know some of the best freaking painters in the biz for sure. And I think for free run, I'm probably gonna have her painted by either Nico Hodge or Mr. Beardy. Let's see. Yeah. Also, the best painters in the game equals exactly, and deservedly so, because they are phenomenal, right? So, also, thank you again, Wedge, for the raid, and we're gonna shout you out too. Shout, shout, let it all out, Jester Wedge. Follow Wedge, awesome dude. He's a variety streamer. He streams games. He plays Hearthstone, Civ 4, I think. I could be wrong. Um, I've seen him play RuneScape. Was playing Subnautica 2 recently. Hey, what's up, Doom? Um, and also, he jams. He plays guitar. He's good too. Hey, thanks for the follow, Nix. Appreciate you. See, yes, I'm an artist. I'm also an artist, mainly 2D, digital, and traditional art. I just finished sketching one that I was doing. Yes, I do prefer being called Nix. Cool, then I will continue to do that. Welcome in Doom. Thanks for the follow, Nix. And yeah, so I've kind of explained how I'm going to part her out. So we're going to start organizing bits. So right now, see, this is the torso. So I'm going to put this little arrow, and the way I organize it is these little arrows over here on the side. Anything underneath them, when I do the Boolean action, will be connect and become one part. So right now, I got the head that has the eyes and the mouth bits, and I want to find the main chunk of hair. This part right here, this is also going to be part of the head. So I'm going to bring that up. It doesn't matter what order they are in. Sometimes it's nice to put them in like an order that makes sense to you, but it really won't matter if they're all going to be the same part. Let's see, I'm also going to do this real quick. I kind of don't like how this inside is, because I think some areas are going to be a bit thin. So I'm going to bring some of that stuff in. But that's really cool, Nix. Thank you for being here. I'm always happy to hear that other artists are coming by, especially that like are in other mediums. Because one thing for me, I like to go and watch people that do things that I don't do, just so I can experience what they do. Speaking of Wedge, I mentioned his gaming and his guitar playing, but he's also a painter. So I like to go watch his painting streams because I hate painting myself, but I do love watching people that are good at it do it. So hopefully you have a good time here. Thanks for the follow again. And do you stream at all? Or are there places where we can see your work? Because that would be really cool too. All right, so we have this, which looks really funny right now. So this is going to be one part. So I'm going to hide that. Oop. And then we're going to start adding pieces that go here. Yes, I do stream. Yeah, I do stream, but as I don't have a you don't have a set schedule? Is that what you mean? That's okay. Consistency is very helpful. So if you can have a set schedule at some point, that would be awesome. But I totally get the struggle. We can't always have a set schedule. Life gets in the way. So you do what you have to do, but Do you stream here on Twitch or do you stream on YouTube or somewhere else? Because that would be interesting to know. Because one thing I also like is um, getting eyes on other people and growing this community. Because what has been nice for me so far, and I've really, really loved, especially recently, I mean, from the beginning, I feel I've been very lucky with the people that I've gotten to know. But recently, I've just been getting to know more and more people, and the circle is getting bigger, and we're all supporting each other. And it's just, it's nice to see everyone kind of grow at their different paces and enjoy what they're doing. So I'm always excited to foster and support other folks and see us all succeed and grow. It's really fun, to be honest. All right, gotta put the sleeves on there too. Oop, let's see. I misclicked. That's okay. I don't have a setup to show my art, but I do have a Tumblr that I post art on. And yes, I stream here on Twitch, but I also don't have a set schedule for streaming. Yeah, so like I said, that's okay. Um, yeah, I'm going to follow you right now. So that way, hopefully, I don't miss one of your future streams and I can check that out. If anyone else is so inclined, do that too. Follow Nix if you're into 2D art. See what they're up to. New member of the community. All right, so here we go. So this is all going to be one part together. Some of this stuff is going to be hidden by the head, so I'm not too concerned about weird wonkiness. I'll fix some things. Let's see, let's pop the head back in and see how this intersects back here. All right. Make some adjustments so that way at least the stuff that's visible looks kind of nice. I'm just using the move brush, kind of pushing and pulling things about. Oh, what happened there? That's not supposed to be like that. Huh? That's funny. Okay, I gotta fix something real quick. Oop. Yeah, that's real funny. I guess at some point when I was moving one of the other bows around or flattening something, uh, I messed a little bit too much with something that I wasn't intending to. All right, I think that's good. Okay, let's go back to hiding the head. Let's get to the last bit of the dress here. We'll put arrow, the arms. They're going to be their own thing. So we actually don't really need to do much with that. And then next, we have the legs. Oh, aha, forgot a bit. The ears, these need to go up with the head. Okay, turn those off. So we got the legs and the shoes. Turn off this hair bit. And a lot of this upper portion is just going to be cut off in the end once I start keying it to the dress. Oh yeah, no problem. Nick's happy to do it. Hopefully you get a couple other follows too from the folks in here. Here, I'll even do this. Think, copy. Uh, there you go. You can either click on their name or you can click on the little thing at the top. Just hit the heart. Anybody else in here that streams? There's a lot of support. Oh, you know who else streams? I'll do this. Actually, I probably have to wait a little bit since I shouted out next. But yeah, you'll see. All right, so here we go. We have the feetsies and the legs. We have the ponytail. We have the bangs and the ringlets. We have the head. I feel like I'm introducing Voltron. We have the arms. This looks really funny. And then the torso. So all those parts will be puzzled together to make our little Ditto last. Bangs are banging! Yeah. Let's see. Have you played this Pokemon game? No, I have not, Doom, and I want to so bad. But it's only on the Switch 2. And I do not have a Switch 2 yet. I think early summer, we've, I mean, everybody's in debt, but we also want to have fun things that make us happy. Um, so we're saving a little bit of money from like birthdays and stuff, and I think a little leftover from Christmas, and we're gonna put money towards a Switch 2. And that is a game that I want to play so bad. Have you played it, Doom? Tell us about it. Your experience if you have played it. I think now I can finally do another shout out. I'm going to do this person. Make sure I typed that right. Nebulous PT. Yes, it is. I did do it right because I'm already following you. So, hooray! Yeah, no, yeah. Um, I have not caught too many of your streams, Nebby, so I don't know all the different things that you do. But if you want to like plug yourself for a sec, because I don't want to get that wrong, I think you do some music stuff. I'm sure you also do some gaming, but yeah, um, tell us a little bit about what you stream, because I need to catch more of them. I know it's hard because we're all in different time zones and different places. But yeah, give Nebby a follow. Stellar person. Does cool stuff. I think one of the streams that I saw you doing, you were in your garage. Little of this, little of that. Um, so I think I've seen you crafting some stuff, or you were at least working on something. All right. So I have all these parts. They're all kind of set together, their own little sections. And what's fun is I can actually make them all different parts at once with the Boolean action, thanks to those little arrows. So that's also part of why I was organizing them. So I hit the Boolean action, and we'll go through. And now, again, this file looks just like the other one, but you'll see over here on the right, there are far less pieces. We have this funny little head, which we flip on the inside. We see is all one piece and hollow. We have the dress. on the inside. See, it's all one piece and hollow now. Yay! Oh, thank you for the bits. First time chatter and dropping some bits. Wow, I appreciate it. Nicholas, XDD, X double D. Thank you so much. I appreciate that a lot. What a way to come in for a first with as a first time chatter. That's really awesome. But yeah, so I don't know if you've been hanging out for a bit and watching. Yeah, the head looks all bald. Um, yeah, it is kind of funny because the bangs and the ringlets will cover that up. Eventually, it's not going to look bald. There's going to be like a chunk of it missing where the bangs are going to set in. 10 more bits. You're so generous. I don't know. That's very nice of you. I appreciate it. Hey, everyone say thank you. Thank you, Nicholas. Much appreciate. So yeah, so we have the dress, we have the arms, and we have the legs with the shoesies. We'll probably adjust this a little bit to make sure it lands right on the base, but we're also going to put a key underneath there. So some of that under part of the sole is going to get destroyed because there's going to be a nice chunk that's going to sink into our base. And that's also going to be one of the things that helps keep her stable and steady and sturdy. We're going to do that with both shoes. So, yeah. So here we go. So now we're going to do the same thing that we did for the base with the grass and the main base for the body. So we're going to turn the arrows on for all these things. And then we're going to kind of puzzle all these things together. So the first thing I think we're going to do is we're going to make a negative for this ponytail into the head. And for this part right here, I'm actually going to kind of smooth this out and make this smaller because it's hidden. And I'm going to bring some of this out. Because we want to have it kind of slide in and tuck in nice and snug. So we want to make a good shape. We're also going to put a key, but the way it was curling before, because initially I used a tool that creates like a curved tube. So I just drew this curved line and it curled the end there. That's not going to be all that helpful when keying this together. We want to have nice shapes that kind of aren't going to conflict with each other. And anything that curls in is going to create an issue. We want parts to go straight into each other as much as possible. So now I've kind of created this little soft wedge, not a gesture wedge, a soft wedge. And so that will create a nice little negative space. So we'll duplicate it, we'll bring it up to the head and we'll hide everything. And we'll look at this head with the ponytail. And then we will create our little negative. So that's what the back of the head is going to look like when it's printed out. And another thing that we want to do is we need to have a little bit of room in there because right now these two things are living in the same space. If I turned on that ponytail, if I tried to key that in, there's no true negative space. I mean, we love a gesture wedge in the chat and in our lives, but I'm not making a gesture wedge. That would be fun to do Wedge, maybe I'm going to make you next. Actually, that's something that I also want to talk about too, because I'm in the engineering phase for a couple projects, which means that very soon I'm going to have to start something else. I want to start something else, but I'm going to need ideas from chat of some fun things to sculpt. I know Pleb has, I need to still quote them on the piece that they want me to work on for them. They're commissioning something. That might be something I do a little bit on stream. But also, just whatever our next project is here. So I might put up a poll later, see if we can figure that out. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to inflate this negative piece slightly. I use this deformation menu, the deformation menu. Here, I'll put the magnifying glass on again. Deformation. Click on that, and then we go to the inflate slider. And I tap on it, and then usually I like to start with entering the number 2. That gives us just a little bit of room. We don't need a lot. And then what we'll do is we will check out, bring this back in, and we'll get a closer look. Now you can see there's a little bit of space in between the two objects now. Not a lot, just enough. And if I control Z real quick, you can see there's no space in between. That's always bad. You want to have a little bit of breathing room between your parts when you're printing them, because otherwise they won't truly fit together. They can't live in that same space. It can't be like 100%, because technically it's like coincidental geometry. They're living on the same surface as each other, and we need them to fit together, not share the same space. Shift C. So there we go. I might even add a little more space just to be safe. We'll see how it looks. I do 1. All right. And we'll zoom out. Yeah, that's probably good. Because from here, you can't really see, but we know it's going to be separate parts. So that's good. So Nicholas, first time chatter, generous gifter, if you're still in here, are you a bit fairy and you're going around from stream to stream giving bits and being super cool and generous? Or are you an artist yourself? Do you create anything? If you're still in here, tell us a little bit about yourself. Right now, I'm going to look at the bangs. I'm going to see what this looks like. Okay. So we'll look at the inside real quick, just to make sure. Yeah, it looks all good on the inside. It's all one part now. And everything that is going to be hidden underneath, I'm going to kind of remove the detail. Again, we want to have like a nice, smooth connection where these parts are going to come together. What are bits? Oh, that's a good question, Doom. So bits is another form of money or donation that you can give to streamers. It's kind of like a tip. There's a couple different ways to help support folks that you're watching on stream. There's subscribing, which you can either subscribe by paying, I think it's $5.99 a month, $7.99 if you do it through like the app on your phone, which I don't recommend because that is like Apple upping and it's just more expensive for you, and I don't think the streamer gets any extra from that, at least not that I know of. So if you are going to sub, either sub through the website or sub through something that doesn't like up the charge, or you can do a Prime sub, which if you have Amazon Prime, if you connect your Twitch to it, you get one free sub a month that you can give to whoever. And awesome Mr. Josh Brown is always so kind and does his Prime sub for me. So thank you again. One of the OG homies has been supporting that way. And then bits is like basically straight up money that you're giving. So I think each bit is about a penny. I think maybe it's a little bit more because I know if you buy uh, for 19.99, you can get 1,500 bits. Um, if you click on the little button, let's see, that's why I Prime sub to one of my friends. Yeah, it's really great, and you can see who has Prime with the little crown. So actually, you have your Prime connected, Doom. So if there's anybody that you follow, which I think you probably already know this. So you can use that sub to sub for anyone basically for free. And then if you look at the bottom of chat, you'll see the little diamond shape. And if you click on that, it shows it shows all the different like channel point things you can spend on here in my channel. Right now you can do hydrate, highlight a message. I don't have a lot. Um, oh, ad starts in about 3.5 minutes. So keep that in mind. And then if you click on the little diamond, it shows all of the different bit amounts that you can purchase. And basically, if you do 1,500 bits, it costs you about 20 bucks, but it's about $15 worth of bits. And the streamer, if you give bits to them, they don't have like a cut taken away from them. They basically do it through the charging process up front. Twitch takes their portion out. So that's why it's like $15 of bits, but it costs you like 20 bucks. So if someone gave me 100 bits, they're giving me $1. Twitch isn't taking anything out of that. So yeah, so any like little bits help. So thank you again, Nicholas, for your contribution. And yeah, that's just another thing that you can do if you want to support your streamers. So here we go. So that is all smooth there. So now we're going to turn this again into a negative for the head. And we already know kind of how we want to inflate it. So I'll go to the deformation menu and I'll inflate it by 3. I really liked how that looked. And I inflated the right one. So now, if we turn off both parts of hair, you can see that. And this is good because this shows me something that I don't like. So see this part right here? This sinks in a little too deep and it has a little too harsh of an edge. And that's not going to fit together nicely. So I need to clean that up just a bit. So we're going to turn the bangs on. And what I'm probably going to do is do a little trick. I'm going to mask right about here, just to kind of help indicate to me just about where it meets. Let's see. Oh, sorry, I don't see any of that. I'm watching on my phone while I think, oh, no worries. it's not a big deal at all. But yeah, I mean, even if you can't see it, that's basically the explanation of what bits are. It's just another, it's like a form of currency through Twitch that you can use uh, tip streamers. That's the short, sweet TLDR of it. So if anybody's looking for another way to support and they don't want to subscribe, because subscriptions are recurring, unless you're doing a Prime sub, you have to like do that manually every month. But subscriptions are reoccurring, which is a commitment, and I understand that. So if you don't want to subscribe to someone, but you want to still support them, you can support them through bits. So sometimes that's why you hear people say, thanks for the bits or thanks for the biddies. All right, so there we go. So I'm probably not going to do much with this part. I think that kind of looked fine. If we go back to the head, yeah, maybe that's a little deep too. I might bring that over a little bit as well. So we'll go here, have it all masked off, and for this section of the bangs, I'm just going to I'm going to use that same smoothing technique. I'm just going to start to smooth it down. And then I'm probably going to go in with clay tubes and kind of flatten it. So I kind of fibbed. There is some sculpting that sometimes happens at this point in the process, but it's mostly like cleanup and uh, troubleshooting stuff. It's not to get any details in. Sometimes it may be to recover details if something is going to be kind of destroyed in the process. When you have to consider some stuff uh, in the manufacturing side of things. But yeah, not in the fun way. Let's see. Every once in a while, I see either a bubble or fire pop up in the chat bar. Do you know what those mean? The bubble is the channel point, the fire is a stream streak. So yeah, there you go. Thank you for the help, Nix. Yeah, so the bubble is basically I have we have bits and we have channel points. You earn channel points just by being here. I know you've watched streams on YouTube, Doom, and that's kind of like the same thing as the XP in YouTube, where like, oh, that person is in first place because they've been chatting a lot. They have the crown, first, second, third. But here, the XP can be spent to do some stuff, and the different streamers kind of create the different things that you can spend it on. I haven't created any crazy things yet or any super interesting things yet because I've just been focused on kind of the content of the channel so far, but I will start adding more fun things for people to do to interact with the stream. I just don't know when and what yet, but that is a plan. So right now, if someone went to the bubble, here, I'll just do it myself. If you go to the bubble and I pick hydrate, and if I pick redeem, it would do that little message that says KGart redeemed hydrate for 100 bubbles, or that's channel points. And even on your phone, you should see at the bottom, there's a little bubble, or right by your chat bar, there's actually next to it on the left side, there's either a little bubble or a little icon of some sort. And if you tap that, that's where you see your channel points. Oh, thank you for letting me know that. I said the ads were coming up and then I didn't notice them they happened. So I'll just repeat this for Doom in case you didn't hear. Thank you, Nix, for letting me know that. I'm still kind of getting used to that. But yeah, so the bubble is channel points. Diamonds are bits. Um, if you saw the redeem KGart hydrate, I redeemed some channel points to tell myself to hydrate. That's something that you can do too. Oh, thank you, Wedge. Here, I'll zoom out. I don't know if you've seen the head yet. Yeah, I'm right now cleaning up. I'm redoing this part, but I'm doing it working on the original part because the original part has to be fixed. Oh, posture check, by the way. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't have a posture check, but since you want me to check my posture, and this is actually a good opportunity. Haha, I forgot to talk about this earlier. My wife got me an awesome new Ghostbusters shirt. Here, I'll stand up and show it off. But oh, I'll even go to full screen for just a second. Yeah, it's super cool. It's kind of retro, neon-y. I really dig it. That's my new Buster shirt. Yeah. Thank you, thank you. I'm a big Ghostbusters fan. Obviously, you can see Slimer right there. You can see the firehouse. It's a Lego firehouse right there. And just to the other side of that are some Ghostbusters action figures that I worked on uh, at General Giant Studio for Diamond Select. So yeah, I also got some proton packs down behind me. I'll show those off at some point. But yeah, haha. Okay, cool. I was just gonna say I got hit with an ad right after I asked the question. Yeah, that happens, man. The best makes you feel good. Yep. Yeah. So if you click on the channel point thing, it shows a few options. You click on the little icon next to your on the left of your chat in your phone, and it gives you options. That's also where you can access bits, and that menu looks the same on phone or desktop. So yeah. So hopefully all that makes a little bit more sense now. Doom. And I explain it just because it's asked. Obviously, no one is required to sub or spend bits to keep me going. I'm doing this for fun, and I'm doing this for the community of it and the enjoyment. Uh, I do appreciate the support, though. You know, it. I would like to go more independent with my work at some point, and also if streaming is a really successful thing, heck, I would be happy to do it on my own. But I have a full-time job right now, and I love it. I don't want to say streaming is a hobby, but it is not a main source or even a source of income. But I have really appreciated folks uh, sharing their enjoyment of my time here by or their time here with me by other subbing or donating. Oh, still in full screen. Thank you. Also, oop, luckily not much has happened. Oop. Nix, you are already a very valued member of this community, pointing out when I am not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Thank you so much. I appreciate it a lot. Yeah, so I'm just going in and still kind of cleaning up these bangs so that way they key in better to the head. And I'm just about to do like the last bit that I wasn't liking. But also, time's flying pretty well. We've already gone through our second ad break of the night, second of three. They usually go for about 2.5 hours of stream. So we're cooking. And I think by the end of stream today, we'll have all this stuff parted out. I'm not sure if we'll get to keying anything yet. And I'm not sure if I'll do that on stream. We will see. All right, so now I will delete this, and then we will bring this back in. So duplicate. Hmm. Still a little bit right here. I'm gonna fix this right here. Still hooking in a little too much. Wasn't doing it as bad on this side, but I'm still gonna kind of fix it on this side. Clean up some of this. Okay. All right, so that looks better. So again, we'll delete this, duplicate this. Yes, much better. Cool. Let's see. Gonna run and watch SNL with fam. Have a good one, Kev and chat. Thank you. Ooh, first time chatter. Joven! Hello, good evening. Driving by to say hello, and this is so cool. Hey, thank you for coming in. Appreciate seeing you here. W, first time chatter. Got a lot of first time chatters tonight. Really appreciate you all stopping by, checking it out. So now, what we're gonna do, just like we did last time, we're gonna do the inflate. Like I said before, we'll do it by 3. Then we'll look at the bangs. Inflate, 2, 3. There we go. I did it by 1 because I thought it had already inflated by 2, but it turns out I was wrong. All right, so now we have the bangs, the negative of the bangs done, and the negative of the ponytail done for the head. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the bangs and the ponytail up at the top by the head. And we're going to hide all this stuff. Because now I'm going to focus on the dress. And the dress is actually going to become the negative for the arms and the legs. So what we'll do is we'll duplicate the dress once. Oh wait, no, I just duplicated the bangs. Silly. Duplicate the dress. And we'll drop one down below the arms in the subtool kind of hierarchy. We'll hide the dress. We'll bring up the arms. Then we'll make the dress the negative. And so now you can see with the arms, if I turn off that negative real quick, you can see that the noodle extends into where the dress is, but way too far. So we're just going to have it drop there. And then from there, we're going to add the key to that part of the arm. So the arms will key in still into the dress. And since the arms are going to key into the dress, I was talking about that negative or that negative space, that amount of space that you need between the thing keying in And since the arm is going to be the thing keying in, I'm not going to do that negative space with the dress right now because I'm going to do that to the arm later when I add the key to it. So right now we're just going to leave that as it is. And then we're going to do the same thing with the dress. We're going to duplicate it again. We're going to drop it below the legs. I'm going to look at the legs and make that the negative. There we go. Yeah, Josh, have a great night. Hope you enjoy SNL. I still love SNL. I need to watch. I didn't watch last week's. I need to catch up, I think, on a couple. So the wife and I might do a little bit of that tonight after stream is over. So thank you for reminding me. All right. So yeah, so we have the negative for the legs. Oh, another Imogene. Hello, hello. Hey, how's stream? Your night going? This is looking so cute. Thank you so much. It's nice to see you. Yeah, here I'll bring all of our gal in right now. Doopy doopy doop. So this is I don't know if you've played Pokopia. I'm sure you've seen all the clips of this cute game that I don't have yet that I want, but need a Switch for it, Switch 2 for it. Um, but yeah, this is based off of a buddy of mine, and why am I saying that? Not a buddy of mine, a streamer friend who I mod for, and yeah, she's super cool, and she was playing Pokopia a lot, and then she did a really fun photo shoot in this cute maid outfit, and so I did a Pokopia Ditto version of her. So that is that is what this is and how it came to be. I also have a base, but right now it's separate. But here, I'll go back to like the main file so you get it all together. I'll get the base in, and then we'll get back to getting everything going. Grass, dirt, grass. Shoot. There we go. So this is the what the finished piece will look like with paint. Ooh, that's too high perspective. There we go. So yeah, this is what she will look like in the end. If someone were to paint her, this is my digital paint of her, but right now, this is kind of what she looks like all together in grayscale. Let's see. Maybe one day, gotta save up the pennies for Switch. Yeah, no, I was just saying earlier before you popped in. Uh, yeah, we're saving up, so probably this summer. So I'm hoping. I really want to do that. Hey, there we go. Meowdy Imogene. Let's see. She's going to love it. Yeah, no, I've already showed Noodle this, and she's very happy. I did it kind of like as a fan art, kind of like fun thing for her. Also, I was just like needing something else to do, and there's not too many times where I get like inspired, and I was just like, I want to do this. So I did it and was like, this is of you. And so yeah, so now I'm just getting it ready for print, and then she has access to a 3D printer. So once I have all the engineering done, I can just send her the files, and whoever she has that has a printer is going to do it on their end. But I still need to figure some stuff out on this side of things. Let's see. Hi, how are you? Imogene just started her streamer. Yes, that is true, and that is a good point. I did click because I already have followed Imogene, and also y'all should do the same, which I'm glad you brought that up because I was just figuring out a time when I was going to mention that, Neb. So I appreciate you pointing that out because there you go. You have done what, 2 streams now? That was your second stream a couple nights ago? where you were playing Fable. All streamer friends are kind of jumbling together. I've met a lot of new people, so I'm trying to make sure like I'm saying the right things. Yay! Yes, yes, yes. Good. I'm glad my brain isn't muddled. But yeah, um, just starting her stream journey, folks. Go follow. Um, I watched her play Fable the other night. Very fun. Uh, the first Fable. And on top of that, she's trying to make her way to affiliate and she needs help and support. So please go follow her, put on your notification bell so that way you know when she is streaming and hopefully you can pop into her streams and watch. She's got a nice setup. And I so much appreciate you popping by to spend time with us tonight. So sweet. All right, so we have all right, let's see. Done and done. Yay, Joven! Let's see. It's good. I'm sleepy though. I don't blame you. All of you that are just like awesome folks that are different time zones and stuff that come by to spend even a little bit of time with me, I appreciate you guys so much. It's like a blessing and a curse because I've met like the coolest people that I so happy I know. But why are all or most of the coolest people that I am meeting all like east side of America or in the UK? It makes it hard. Let's see. Yes. Hey, you can nap, you could lurk. I appreciate that too. I love you guys chatting, but I also don't want to keep you if you are, you know, so sleepy. But yes, thank you for being here. Thank you for chatting and dropping in. I appreciate you. Tunsy, tunsy, tunsies. Let's see. All right, so I have one more thing I want to do. The head, that is actually going to be a negative into the body. So I'm going to duplicate that, make that negative, and here we go. So here we see how that is going to be. And I'm probably going to have the body key up into the head because it's so heavy that'll, again, eliminate mass for the head. And so what I'm going to do, just like I did with the grass, I'm going to inflate some of this stuff here to fill in these gaps, just so it's a nice firmer base. And then this, again, I'm not going to do negative inflating here because that negative inflating will go up into the body um, with the key. So I'll do the inflate brush to pump up and fill in these areas. Only a little bit up here. Space where like it won't be seen. So this is losing a little bit of like that sphere roundness here a little bit. That's okay because no one is going to be seeing up in there. And that'll just make a nice firmness. So yeah, so here's what it looks like before the negative of the head. And add that back in. It's cutting out a chunk here. I'm going to have a nice fat key that's going to go right up into the head. Let's see. Hello, I wish I could go to bed, but I still got to do dishes and more stuffs. Probably eat. Hey, welcome to the eat late gang because I have not had dinner. I had a late lunch today, so I did not eat before stream, and I probably eat something a little bit after stream. Hopefully, I'll need to remind myself. My wife is also good at reminding me. She's like, "Did you eat today?" Yes, and sometimes no. So thank you, wife, who buys me cool shirts and supports me and reminds me that I need to eat food. Speaking of, also drinking. I'm trying to better myself through all of this because streaming takes time away from the family. So I'm trying to do a good job at balancing that, but also expanding my horizons. I haven't read a book in the longest amount of time, so I finally uh, kind of joined a book club through one of the discords I'm in, and I got an e-reader, and I'm reading this cool book called it's called Ghosts of Sicily. Let me see. I'll go back to full screen just for a second, just to plug this thing. I'm so excited to have this thing because I can't buy like a bunch of books and fill up space. So this is a nice way to get books. You can also do check out through the library. But Ghost of Sicily, it is a very interesting tale so far. I'm not super far into it, but I'm having a blast. And here, let's go before I forget. Back to the scene. Yeah, it's a true story of the naval intelligence agents who courted the mob to fight the Nazis in America and the battlefields of Italy. Like crazy, crazy, crazy thing. The FBI and the DAs of New York going, "Hey, mob, we're having trouble at the waterfronts. Can you help inform us because your country is getting messed up too?" It's yeah, it sounds wild. It's already wild, and I'm only like 90 pages in, maybe not that because I've like upped the text. So like I'm not very far in, and it's already the whole thing is crazy, but it's super fun. So yay reading again because I needed to do that. I've been wanting to do it for a long time, and I just haven't been. See, this is what oh, I I don't want to take a picture of my sink right now, but if I took a picture of my sink right now, you would just be like, yeah, no, I get you, Imogene. Dishes are the bane. So that's actually something that I might do after stream as well because my wife is tired and she has done a lot of things around the house lately, so I need to contribute. Contribute. I'm gonna inflate this a little bit too, just to thicken some of this stuff up, just so I feel better about what's gonna happen when it prints out. Okay, so with that, all of these parts are kind of ready to be Boolean. So I'm gonna do that again. Do the Boolean action, and now again, we have 6 parts, but now we have the ponytail with its wedge, the ponytail wedge, not the cool jester wedge. We have the bangs that have been fixed. We have the head that has the chunks out of the back and the front. Still might need to do some fixing there. Worried about some things that might be bumping into each other, but it looks pretty good. And then we have the dress that has the chunk of the head. We have the noodly arms for the noodly Ditto noodle. And then we have the lower half of the body, the legs. And we'll have a key that goes up in. But yeah. And again, everybody, thank you for being here. If you passed through, if I'm your background noise, whether you're taking a nap or you're doing dishes or you are actually riveted and just watching away, I appreciate you being here. Oh, realsies. Um, yeah, since everybody's doing that right now, and I am probably your fun background noise, I'll talk about. I was already talking to Wedge about this earlier today, how I finally got to game. I haven't gamed in so long, and I've had some games lined up for a bit, And finally, I started playing Jedi Survivor tonight or today before stream. It was only for about 2 hours, but man, thank you for streaming. I appreciate you opening your space. Hey, no problem. Thank you for being here. It's, it was a wild thing to do. Streaming is a leap. I think it's a leap for everyone. It's scary at first, and you kind of never know how it's going to go. I was lucky to have some stuff uh, in my favor to get to affiliate quick, but I'm not like in a rush or ever expecting to get to partner. I just wanted to at least like get to a monetized point, and then now I'm just trying to have fun with it and meet people and encourage people to do their own creative endeavors. And like I said, giving myself a space to do stuff that I want to do creatively instead of working for clients. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you for thanking me. Thank you for being here. And yeah. Anyway, back to Jedi Survivor. I feel like I'm gushy today. Um, yeah, I loved Jedi Fallen Order. Really cool game. Awesome, like window in different window into the Star Wars universe, and to like be playing it. Also, like I'm not a huge Souls like game fan. They're a little much for me. Maybe not now. I haven't played one in a long time, but these Jedi games are kind of Souls light games. They're very forgiving. They're more adventure based than punishing, even though they still can be punishing. So I like the challenge of them, but it's not like too overwhelming. Okay, so now we're going to start doing fun keys. And I don't want to do like a really deep key for this because this fits nice, but I still want it to lock in. So now we get to the point where I actually get to draw in some basic shapes. And I'm going to draw in a square. I'm going to turn it into, again, more of a wedge. So it kind of like coasts into space, into the place that it's going to be in. So I'm using the Insert Multi-Mesh Primitives brush. So you see all these shapes up at the top here. I can pick any one of these shapes and go to my model. As long as it's not multiple subdivision levels, I can just drag the shape in, and now I have this new little shape. Yay! So I'm going to turn this into a wedge, more of a rectangular wedge. I'll also make sure it's hidden, so when I bring everything back, I can see, I'm not going to see this thing where it is. So that's good. Then I'm going to go into the wireframe portion to look at it, and I'm going to remove a lot of these inner edge loops. And then I'm going to grab just the end of this rectangle and just taper it with my gizmo tool. The yellow box in the middle is the scale box. So if I drag that either left or right or up or down, it will scale it accordingly. So I'll just make a nice little wedge shape. Maybe not even that deep. Bring it back just a little bit. And this is just so like the shape of this wedge, kind of soft wedge that I have in here, will do a good job holding it together. But having something solid like a cube or even a cylinder, something that's a hard surface shape, just helps really lock it into place. So there's no like wiggling around as I'm putting it in eventually. Because I'll eventually like I'll glue this in. So there we go. Again, I'm going to do these little arrows because I'm going to start treating these like separate parts again. And I'm going to separate that. Eventually, I'll make them one piece again, but I want to separate it because I also want to duplicate and bring it to the head because we're going to start doing negative spaces again. Yeah, I've only played the first 2 hours of Jedi Survivor. Cal Kestis is such a cool, different character from a lot of the characters that we've seen in the Star Wars universe. A lot of the newer characters kind of spanning out from the Rogue One portion of the universe, which I think this is more connected to Rogue One games and a lot of other stuff. Uh, or the Rogue One movie and Andor and stuff. Um, just great because Saw Gerrera is in these games very important fixture who is also important in Rogue One. Um, and I think will be a bigger factor in the next season of Andor. Because I think we've heard about him and only seen him a little bit. I don't remember. I need to rewatch season 2 of Andor. Um, if anybody else has watched it, don't want to do spoilers, but if you did watch it, let's see. Oh man, my wife and I just started season 2 of Andor. So yeah, it is really good. I don't remember if Saw Gerrera makes an appearance or is just mentioned in season 2 of Andor, but I'm assuming he's going to be more of a fixture in the next season because I don't know how many more seasons they plan on doing, but we're leading to Rogue One. So at some point, he's gonna have to be a little bit more important because it all goes to that end of things. Like obviously, like they don't really know each other, but we gotta meet some of those other characters from that movie and see how they get to the point where they're getting into place for the events that are gonna happen. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this game sets up some of that stuff because this is again all part of that portion of the universe. So if you haven't played the Jedi games, do it. Let's see, is Jedi Survivor the game that the start of Order 66? Is Jedi Survivor the game that the start of the game happens during Order 6? No, Fallen Order. I think Order 66 has already happened. Yeah, because the main character is already hiding at the beginning of the first game, and they're hunting down the Jedi. So it's pretty recent, but we like don't see it happen. It's already happened in Fallen Order. And Survivor is the sequel to Fallen Order. So at this point, it's further gone. More Jedi have been killed, and there's very few left. At this point, uh, Cal Kestis, the main character who you are playing, thinks he's the only Jedi left, aside from the Inquisitors uh, that are hunting down the Jedi, which most of them think Cal is the last one. Obviously, we know he's not. So I'm very excited to see kind of how that also plays out in this next game. Because again, I'm only 2 hours in. Um, we have dealt with some stuff on Coruscant and not done a lot yet, but it's already feels just as good as the first game. So I'm excited. All right, so we have a key there. Let's do key here. And again, we're going to add a cube and turn it into a wedge. We kind of want to consider angles of things because it needs to kind of drop in at the same angle as everything else. We're making it a wedge shape to make that easier, so it's not like a harsh um, drop in with no wiggle room, especially with these organic shapes. But sometimes we do solid, straight up squares as keys. I just don't think that's going to be very useful to me in this particular instance. So really it's more of a guide to make sure it finds its home and also a good surface to glue. Okay, key for the hair in place. Split masked. Again, we will duplicate this key. We'll bring it to the head. And now we can see, got key for the front, key for the back. And now there's only one more key that we need to make for the head. And that is going to be coming off from the dress. Now this one is going to be important. I'm going to make this one longer, still wedge shaped, but I want to take some mass out of the head to make it not as heavy. If you see me doing this thing with the gizmo right here, what helps with this is when I hold down the Option key and then drag, it allows me to kind of drag the gizmo into place. That's the gizmo is this fun little circular thing with the arrows. And if I drag it off the model, it aligns it with the plane of the screen, and it will actually influence the object that I bring in, the direction that it's going to go. So I'm going to drag in this cube, and if I hold down Shift, it comes in at that same angle as the gizmo, and it's very convenient. All right, I can move this around, kind of figure out where I want it to fit. I have all of this real estate, but I don't want to do it too close, just to make sure it doesn't somehow end up poking out and become visible as a key. All right, get rid of these edge loops again using my ZModeler brush. If I hold down Alt while I have the edge highlighted and tap, it removes that loop, that edge loop. And again, shrink that down a little bit. And then we will split the masked object, which is the key. And again, we'll duplicate this key and make another negative for the head. So now clearly didn't come quite below the base of the head, but I can fix that. Everything else, the edges do break that surface, so that's fine. So I can do a little cheat here. And I can just extend the bottom here, and that gets rid of that extra little bit. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So all those parts are good. Now to do a little something with the dress. If you look here, wireframe, this whole top section that was carved out from the head is all one poly group. That's what these different colors are, poly groups. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mask off that poly group. I'm going to hold down the Control key on my keyboard and drag, and it does an extrusion. Now I don't want that to go too far. Just want to do a little bit. And then I'm going to shrink it down a tad too. And I'm just doing this in order to give a little bit of a homing of the body up into the head. So the key is going to lock it into place, and then this should lock the body in place just a little further. I'm even going to use the move brush just a little bit. It's because the shape is so weird. Use the move brush just to kind of drag some of these little parts in, just to make sure there's no kind of weird edges that are going to catch. Again, we don't want any what's the word that I'm looking for? My brain is stalling right now. We don't want any. I think I even said it earlier today. But basically, I'll just describe it. We don't want areas that we want it to draft well. Undercuts. Hey, I remembered. We don't want any undercut issues that will get in the way of this slotting into place. We don't want information that will prevent it from hitting where it needs to go. So now that we did that, we'll again duplicate this dress. And we'll make this another negative for the head. And I think that's going to be all the parts of the head. And now you can see we have the key that goes up into the head from the body, and shallow homing space for that to sit, kind of like with everything else here. Yay! Okay, I just want to make sure that ears were connected well enough. So I flipped just for a second. Okay, so the head is ready to go. The bangs and the ponytail are ready to go. Let me turn these on just for a sec. I might do this. Let's do a little bit of a smooth with the um, Sculptress toggle on. Sculptress is this really cool thing that I was using earlier that kind of takes the geometry and it smooths and also alters at the same time. And this is a really harsh edge and corner, so I'm just going to kind of like smooth it in here just to make sure that nothing's going to catch. It should be fine enough where it's not going to like be super noticeable. I want to make sure this area doesn't catch when I put these pieces together. So I'm going to soften them just a bit across these edges, mainly the ones that are on the face here. I don't think the ones in the hair are going to get in the way. There we go. All right. So the head is pretty much done. All those parts, both the hair and the head. Now we got to do the keys for the arms and the legs into the dress. So bring the arms on. And this I'm probably going to use just, I'm not going to taper. I'm just going to have it lock in properly. I'm just going to bring a square in just like I have before and kind of angle it the way I want. Do that little gizmo trick. Bring up, oh, I moved that. Bring up the primitives insert brush. And there we go. Drag that in. Now it's going to need to be, again, smaller than the outer portion of the arm. Maybe not that long. There we go. So yeah, that's going to be the key for the arm. That's going to be a negative space from the arm into the dress. And since this part, since everything else is masked off, and just for the sake of time, I can actually just hold down Control and drag the gizmo, and it duplicates that same rectangle that I just made. And all I need to do is bring it over and line it up how I would like with the other arm. So I'll just use the gizmo and slowly get it to where I need it to go. Kind of find that point. And there we go. So those are the keys for the arms. Now let's bring the dress in and see if there's any issues that might come into play. And I don't think so, because it's not going to come up out of it anywhere else. It gets kind of close here. There's enough information. It's far enough away from some of these edges that it's not going to come through. I might, for this particular arm, just bring this back just a little bit. So there's still going to be enough key there, but it's not going to make this too thin here to be an issue. I might even do this. Let me see. Mask off that one. Can I rotate this? flatten that just enough and make it parallel with the stuff that it's close to, and that gives it even more space, so it won't be too thin. Yay! Okay. So now I'm going to remove these from the arms so I can make a negative for the key into the base. And our last ads are going to start in 5 minutes. So please hang through the ads. If you're still hanging through, split unmasked, duplicate the keys, bring them under the dress and make them a negative, hide the arms. Now you can see those go right up into the dress. Then I'm going to duplicate the arms, make those a negative, and now I'll do the inflate to again get that like homing in just a little bit. We'll see if I bring the arms back in. It might be actually a little bit too much. I might not even need 3 for the arms. Inflate 2. Yeah, that should be fine. All right. Arms and keys for arms are done. Now the last bit, we'll wait for folks to get back. Oh no, we're not in the ads yet, so I don't need to wait for folks to get back. I've got about 3 minutes to do this next key, or at least start it. So I'll go here. This is about the top angle that's going. Do the little gizmo thing, hit my cube, hold shift. That's what I want to do. Hold shift. Let's see. Daddy trash toast. Roses are red. The lights on in the hall. Don't care how small the room is. I cast fireball. That's a good one. Hello, welcome in, Daddy Trash Toast. First time chatter. The name is familiar. You might have to remind me because I've been meeting a lot of people in different chats lately. And please tell me if you are from somewhere else, where I might know you from. Let's see, hello, I see D&D ref. Yep. Yay! Imogene likes it too. Yep. No, that was a really, really solid first chat. So welcome in. Welcome to the fold. My name is KGart. I am a 3D artist. I've been working in the toy and gift industry for 20 years. Even if you know me from another chat, you probably don't know a lot of this stuff about me. Let's see. No, I'm just scrolling the art tab and casting fireball spell in people's chats. Awesome. Well, welcome in, welcome in. Um, we have an aura of fire protection in this chat, so luckily no one got burned, but good effort. Good effort. I appreciate you. The attempt was valid. Have you stumbled onto any other cool uh, art stuffs tonight in your quest to view more art? You may be out of spells. Haha, see? You gotta come prepared. Did you use your last fireball on us? Oh, but not out of shells. Uh-oh. Hope you don't have a blue shell. Am I jumping at a different game? All right, so I think that is going to be a good key up into the body. We'll split the unmasked. And can duplicate that and bring that up to the dress. Make that a negative. Now all these keys are actually going to have to be inflated too. So I'm going to go around and do that to each key that's going to be a negative as soon as I have everything in place. I do a little bit something different with that because as you can see, there's no details on these keys. They're just what, four, six faces, obviously for like a D6, and 4 points for each side. There's not enough detail really to inflate. It inflates weird, so I'm going to add points and inflate it in a way that will be helpful. Let's see. It's a thing that this protecting space from fire. It's a thing that this is protecting space from fireball because it's my own weakness. Fireball can be dangerous. Okay. Me? Oh, you can't hear me because the ads. Let's see. So ads are going. There's a few people in. We'll take a little bit of a break. I'll rehydrate right now. Got about a minute left in the ads. And then we'll spend a little time to, I think, wrap up most of the work for this, which is good. I wasn't quite sure how quickly I would get through this evening. So yeah, less than 30 seconds. All you folks on YouTube that take the time to watch this at all, if you do, I bet it's an interesting time to hear the waiting for the ads portion. All right, we should be back from the ads. Sorry for that hitting when it did, and for my headphones to my earbuds to go out at the same time, like right before. It was a little confusing for me. Thank you, Nix, again for pointing out that the ads were showing up because I was like, oh, yay, my sound is back. And then the ads started, so I couldn't even properly communicate. Yay! Back from the ads, and my headphones, my earbuds are also reconnected to my computer, which they decided to suddenly, spontaneously disconnect for some reason. It's very silly. Yeah, so now we have this key. So again, we got the negative, and then we're going to do the negative space with the lower torso. We're going to duplicate, bring it to the dress, negative. We'll inflate by 2, just like we did with the arms. Now we got a little negative out for the legs there, along with the key. And that is all of our body keys. So we're going to go section by section as we wrap up for tonight. And we're going to look at the parts that have the negative keys, which I believe the head is like the first one coming from the top down. So we'll go to each key that is a cutout. We're going to do something called dynameshing. And this is kind of a really cool feature. It is in the Geometry tab over on the side menus on the right. In the middle, Dynamesh, click, and you can pick the resolution of the piece, the object. I'm going to go somewhere in the middle and hit the Dynamesh button, and you can see it just adds a lot more points. It's not pretty, but it doesn't really have to be, because again, it'll be hidden inside the model, and we're going to use that to inflate more evenly. And do 3. There we go. So now we look on the inside. And then when we bring the key for the bangs in, yeah, we'll see that there's a nice little bit of negative space between. So there's room for that to slot in. So we're just going to do that with all of these keys, all the negatives. So go in, Dynamesh, go in the middle, and then inflate 3. And I've been doing this long enough that I don't really need to double check a lot of this stuff. I've already done it once, so as long as I repeat this process, it's going to be good across the board. I just got to keep an eye and make sure I don't do something weird and accidentally deflate before I inflate. All right, let's see. All right, so the head, that is done. So those are the only 3 keys for the head. The next part that has negative keys is the dress. So, hold on just a moment. So now we're going to go to each of these sets of keys. Let's see, scrolling through Twitch for like 10 minutes. This is the very first thing I found, 3D modeling. Hell yeah, yay! Welcome, Fantasia Ace, first time chatter. Welcome in, welcome in. I hope you enjoy your time. I'm something that's fun that probably not a lot of other 3D artists are doing right now, or often. I'm doing this model for 3D print. So also for, I'll say shows for Daddy Trash Toast, if you're still here, this is the model that I made. It is a original Pokopia character based off of another streamer, friend of mine, who I mod for. So this is the full piece, and right now I'm splitting it into different parts and setting up the keys so that way once I 3D print it, I can put all these different parts together. So that's what we're doing tonight. So something a little bit different in the 3D space as well. I'm doing these last bits where I'm creating a good negative space for these keys to go into. But thank you for coming in and spending some time with us. Hope you enjoy your time here. Okay, so now again, I'm going to dynamesh these keys, inflate them just a little bit so they're a proper negative space for the arms. Is that good? And then the last major key is this one. Dynamesh, inflate, 3, there we go. All right, let's see. I'll never understand how any of this modeling works, but I love listening to folk that do. People good at their craft, you know? Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, I do the same thing because 3D modeling is obviously what I do a lot of. Um, but I don't know jack about painting, and I do 2D art, but I haven't drawn in a long time. So when I go to art streams, I don't often go to 3D artists. I go to um, folks working in other mediums, so I can just kind of marvel at what they do and see how what things kind of apply and cross over, and what things are just very different. That's really fun for me. See, also love the face hair. Have something similar, but yours looks. Oh, thank you very much. Yes, there are people that marvel over here. I'll go full screen just for a second and get a little bit better of a look. It's a little droopy on one side right now, but I don't actually use any product for the curl of the mustache, which is probably why this side is falling right now. I probably should, but usually I just like kind of curl it and it naturally holds shape. So I'm lucky, and some friends of mine that also uh, have mustaches are jealous that I can do it without getting some mustache wax. But I just don't want to put any product in. I probably should get something just for like special occasions. But thank you for the compliment, and I'm sure yours is fantastic. Facial hair is fun. Okay, so all the keys are inflated that need to be are the negatives. All the keys are in place that are needed. So I think we're good to go. Let's see, facial hair is all I have left. Facial hair is all you have left. Oh man, you make it sound so dire. All right, we'll do the Boolean action. Get all these last parts going. Again, we should have 6 wonderful parts with their keys, or the negatives for their keys. And she is done. Thanks for the follow. Haha. No, I shave the top because, oh, I see what you mean. Because it's thinning. Bald is better than a ring. I've always thought. No, I think that's fair. I actually, it's funny also. I have a friend who has alopecia, and she is completely bald, and I'm kind of jealous in a way, not of alopecia, but her head is like one of the most perfect domes I have ever seen in my life. If I ever go bald, it will not be pretty. I don't have a pretty bald head. I can tell. I have felt my head through my hair. It would not be as stunning as hers. So she may not be blessed with the alopecia, but she was blessed with this amazing, beautiful round dome. See, too many lumps like me. Yep, I guess we're kindred in that I do not like the lumps. I'm glad that I can cover them. For you, I'm glad that you are more secure than I. I'm sure your bald head is amazing still. Let's see. All right, so I have all these pieces, so I'm gonna rename them real quick. So we got ponytail, ponytail, bangs, head, body, arms, and legs. See, where are we? We have a little bit of time, but I think I'm going to stop there tonight because all I have left to do really is to do the keys for the feet into the base and for the grass chunks into the base, which is this stuff. And I think I'm probably just going to finish that off stream and start either something new next week or start working on the other piece that I've been working on stream. I'll bring that up. Let's see. It's all right. I wasn't made for beauty. You ever watch the old Red Green show? Oh man, like I think I did, but it was so long ago. I don't remember a lot of it, but yes, yes, I believe I know what you're alluding to. But yeah, let me bring this up real quick before we wrap up stream. Oop, here we go. So the other project that I've been working on, actually, there's two other projects, but the other main project, what I started streaming was this. Any anime fans? If you like Frieren, this is the other statue I've been working on. I'm almost done. I just need to do. Uh, I've finished the details with like kind of these magic bits that are going around. There's a couple more details I want to add, kind of these bits right here, more around the rest of these magic kind of spires. I want the flowers to kind of go up some of these spires and also around this central area. And I also want to make Frieren's briefcase. And I also do plan to engineer and 3D print this as well. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Let's see. It's like what Uncle Red used to say, if the woman don't find you handsome, you should at least find you handy. And by the look of your work, certainly handy. Yes, thank you very much. You're amazing. Yes. I had a lot of fun working on this. There's still like a few minor details that I'm going to tweak, but she's pretty much done. And I need to just finish up the base elements and then start engineering her like I have been for my wonderful Ditto Noodle. But yeah, I need to do the flower details, the blue moon flowers. I want them not just to be on the grass, but to go up these magic bits and this kind of like wind feature that's going to help make her float. Because if y'all know, she floats around a lot, but that's kind of hard to do in statue form. So I had to come up with uh, a way to do that with my limited resources that would work so I can 3D print her um, with this design that I kind of came up with. So yeah, so with that being said, thank you for everyone that came through tonight. We got some bits, we got some follows. If you like what you saw tonight, even a little bit, um, go ahead and give me a follow and come back next time. I stream every Saturday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's where I try to be consistent. I might be shifting that in the future, but for now, that is the normal schedule. And this is what I do. I make statues and figures. I try to give insight on how I do it. So that way, if anybody else is trying to do this and trying to work in ZBrush or in other 3D packages, they hopefully gain some knowledge and can help with their skill building. I also encourage people to make their own art as well. It's very important. That's why I'm doing this, to make my own art. Obviously, the characters aren't mine, but the pieces are things that I want to make for me. I'm doing that choosing now. Let's see. Always fun to watch the process. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it's fair the process too, because I feel like a lot of people don't really know how things are made. I remember when I was first in college, or not first in college, when I was, heading out of college and trying to decide what direction I wanted to go. Here we'll go full screen for this last bit. Oop. When I was leaving university and getting ready to go out into the world, I wanted to get into games or TV or film. And then I got my internship opportunity, which was in Disney Consumer Products. And that's where I learned, hey, oh, yeah, that's right. All these things people need to make. You don't really think about it. A lot of folks that are in the action figure kind of collecting and statue collecting think about it a little bit more because they're more familiar with like artists that do stuff. But um, everything, there's always someone that's making a lot of 3D art um, and stuff for manufacturing. So it's fun to share the process because a lot of people don't think about it. And it's neat to see. I mean, all those how it's made shows are always so fascinating because you don't really understand how things are constructed until you get to see it sometimes. So yeah, it's really, really cool and fun to share the process. But with that, thank you everyone for coming through tonight. It's been a really cool stream. I wasn't sure how this one was going to go because, with the engineering side of things, it's a little different. And we've had a lot of first time folks just popping through tonight. So that was really exciting. And of course, all the wonderful regulars that I see every Saturday, Doom and Nebby, who pops in a lot, Wedge always, Keisha, um, Josh, and yeah, all you guys that always come through. It's always nice to see you. And yeah, welcome old and new. My name is KGart82. I'm on Instagram. My VODs go up on YouTube. They're archived there, and obviously I'm here on Twitch. I've been making toys for about 20 years now, and now I'm doing this for me. And hopefully you make some stuff for you out there. So enjoy your night, stay creative, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.